everyone, I am Ivy Q. Gamora, BE Ed 3, Lit 1, Section J. I am presenting to you my point of view about the roles of literature, its essence and functions. So first, I will discuss about the roles of literature. The first bullet is literature is a transmitter of values. Transmitter of values means events as we read them in literature make us look at ourselves and live through the experiences of the characters. We glean from the stories the morals that lead to good life. For example, honesty, respect, love of country, justice, and honor. The next one is preserver of ideals, customs, and traditions. Literature is our link to the past. We get a glimpse at our own sisters' way of life by reading their stories and poems. Reflecting on their practice, beliefs, and attitudes make us understand more deeply our roots, thereby inspiring us to strengthen our ideals, customs, and traditions at the present. The next bullet is mirror of culture. All the literary works like novels, plays, poems are reflection of culture. The writers or authors reflect their culture through their literary works. Read a novel and then you'll be able to recognize the difference in cultures. They are reflected even by the use of words. The next one is literature is agent of change. History bears records of significant changes in society brought about by literature. The choice of Tagalog as basis for Filipino, the national language of the Philippines, has been partly due to the popularity of writings in Tagalog like Francisco Balagtas and Florante at Laura. Today, literature in the mass media is a potent force swaying public opinion. Ideas massively delivered, whether orally or in writing, can greatly influence people's thinking. So, literature can make or unmake heroes, presidents, or anyone. The last one is source of pleasure. Like other forms of art, literature entertains and gives pleasure. Some people read literature for the fun of it, while some people read for the wisdom they get from it. Others enjoy analyzing the message in it or the style and structure of the selection. Now let's move on to the essence and functions of literature. The first one is knowledge sharing. This is the most basic and important function of literature. We can learn many new things about the world with its help. We can fill ourselves with knowledge and become smarter. The second one is upbringing. Literature affects the feelings and outlook of a person. Why do we read fairy tales in childhood? Well, mostly because they clearly distinguish between good and evil, which helps children to understand what is good and what is bad from an early age. Also, literature, like language, is an element of culture. It expresses people's life and culture they have from one generation to another. The third one is communication. First of all, it is the communication between the reader and the author. Very often, we are impressed by some characters and do not like others. We can agree with a point of view of the author, and we can disagree with it altogether. Also, a book can be topic for discussion with your friends and acquaintances. The fourth one is entertainment. Even though we live in the digital age with all forms of entertainment at our fingertips, a lot of people still enjoy reading books to entertain themselves. After all, books can take you anywhere without you even leaving your couch, and they can provide you with hours of fun. We get pleasure every time from reading good verses or beautiful work. or a book with a great plot, or other interesting facts and scientific works. People spend a lot of time looking for something that really brings them pleasure, and literature is something that does that. The next one is self-development. Literature helps us to develop ourselves. Thanks to books, articles, magazines, we have the opportunity to fill ourselves with new knowledge, cultivate good qualities, and strive for something more. The next one is development of thought process. The more we know, the more we have the desire to tell others about it and find out what they think about it. As the saying goes, truth is born in dispute, and so it is. People very often reflect on processes, events, knowledge which they read and discuss various issues with others. The next one is transformation. Our world is full of information and not all of it is good and beautiful. But with the help of literature, we can transform bad memories into something beautiful. Ordinary characters, events, and settings can be turned into something artistic, poetic, and beautiful. Also, literature can be used to transform societies through the criticism of societal ills and injustices. Literature as a tool for awareness criticizes society by pointing out the evils and other injustices in society. So now let's move on to the uniqueness of each literary genre. So I have here poetry. So poetry is the oldest form of literature. It conveys meaning and communicate ideas, and it is also known as wisdom language, and it encompasses mystery. Then the next one is drama. So drama emphasizes on emotion, it is entertaining, and it can be seen or and heard, and it contains dialogue and description. The next literary genre is prose. Prose follows a basic grammatical structure. It is straightforward, it focuses on plot and character, and it fulfills a story's promise. Then the last one is nonfiction. So nonfiction, it is based on real life. It is all about storytelling. It is your personal essay and it conveys information to readers. So let's move on to the uniqueness of each literary criticism. So I have here feminist approach. So feminist approach, it is more on analyzing gender inequality. So feminist approach aims to understand gender inequality and focuses on gender politics, power relations, and sexuality. It is also focuses on the promotion of women's rights and interests. The next one is psychological approach. So psychological approach, it is more on sexual implications and human behavior. So psychological approach involves certain assumptions like your beliefs or traditions or about human behavior. Then the next one is formalism. Then the next one is formalism. So formalism is more on organization or structure. So it aims to classify, categorize, and catalog works according to their formal attributes. Lastly is moral philosophical approach. So it is more on morality or right and wrong. So moral philosophical approach, it teaches morality and to probe philosophical issues. So we can say that a text is good if it is lets us to understand our inner emotions. Before I will end my discussion, I just want to leave this quote. Literature is a comprehensive essence of the intellectual life of a nation by William Shakespeare.